Perfect. All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Mercedes Dunne. A little bit, let's see if I can. Here we go. So a little bit about me, just so you can understand who I am. My name is Mercedes Dunne. I'm a realtor. I grew up over here in North Canton, Ohio. I was the president of my student council exec board at Hoover, where I planned all my student body events. So I have a passion for doing all that. I went to school in Chicago at Loyola University, and I focused on business marketing. And then I worked for Jameson Sotheby's International Realty as their transaction and marketing coordinator for the 5 top agents in their office. And that's where I kind of learned everything. But they have 3 different licensings in Chicago. So I had a rental license there too. So I learned the fair housing and all that stuff. So it made it easier when I came here to take my test. So that was nice. But I've been a realtor here since 2019. But I have a little video that I just made, and I'm going to have you take a look at it if you haven't seen it. Tells you just a little bit about me. But this is what I'm going to get into about marketing yourself, which is super important. Who is Mercedes Dunne? Okay, that's a loaded question. Well, I'm a mom, I'm a girlfriend, I'm a dog mom, I'm a friend, and I'm a forever realtor. A little bit about me. I grew up in North Canton. I come from a huge family. Talking about hundreds of cousins here. And I've always had this passion for business. My senior year, we formulated a business and it was called Letter Art Photography. We actually made $5,000 in profit that year with my business idea. And we placed first in regionals, which I won an award I could sell ice to an Eskimo. Then we placed third in nationals in Washington, D.C. But that's really where my love for business. Now I ended up going and moving to Chicago for school. I attended Loyola University of Chicago, where I focused on a bachelor's in business marketing. I learned all the tips and tricks for how you could sell people things that they didn't really need. And I didn't want to be that person that would sell people things they didn't need. That's just not who I am. So when I joined Jameson Sotheby's International Realty, working for the top 5 producing agents as a marketing and transaction coordinator, really my love for real estate was formed. Now, honestly, I can say I live a dream job. I get to help people on a daily basis find a place to call home. And it's not just, the home is not just how it's built or how it's filled up. It's how you turn it into a home. You know, at Loyola, God gave me these skills in real estate and in marketing, and I use them on a daily basis for my clients. Every day I get to make a difference in people's lives around me, and it's a blessing. Now, I moved back to Northeast Ohio when my dad got sick. He's in remission now, everyone, he's okay. But that's really, besides the business school, my dad, he owns his own lawn care company. And that's where I got that, entrepreneurial spirit from, with my dad. So I kind of look up to him. And the fact that when he was getting sick, I had to move home. So I moved back to North Canton, got my real estate license, and have been doing it ever since. I truly am that advocate for my clients. I'm there for them 24 hours a day. I'm a negotiator. I turn into their best friend because I learned to get to know my clients. I want to know them personally and how I can better help them. So if you want to watch the rest, you can. I'm not going to bore you with all of that.
That was really good.
But it's about, and Dan did it. It was not too expensive. He did my headshots included too. I think it was like $400, but I've already gotten 2 leads from this being boosted on Facebook. So it already paid for itself.
Yeah.
Nice, yeah. So, and I'm also part of the culture committee here. So I'm going to just, throw that in there if you want to be a part of the culture, because culture is important. So join us. We meet on Thursdays, the beginning of the month. We're doing a trivia night, October 22nd. It's so much fun. You guys should come. It's not real estate trivia, so you don't have to feel like you have to know everything about, schooling things. But a little bit about what I'm going to cover today is the PC background that I went through, marketing you and your listings, buyers to sellers, and some AI helpful uses. So let's get started. Okay, so a little funny thing at the beginning. I say, some people, when they join, they're like, oh, I have to pay Gina a cut. But it makes a big difference. You need someone that's going to put some fire under your ass. And she definitely did that when I came over here. But on top of that, a big thing that I learned from Gina was your database is so important, right? Like if you're not constantly updating the new address for your clients, if you're constantly not, sending out a drip campaign, you're not going to be top of mind. And these are already emails, addresses, and stuff that you already have from your people. So making sure you touch them and meeting with Amanda to fine tune it makes a huge difference. So I definitely recommend you guys do that. So thank you, Gina.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's talk about marketing ourselves. So my background is in marketing. So I have a huge passion for the marketing side. And you need to have something tangible to give to your clients so they can remember you and they can keep you top of mind. So I have pens I give out. I have these, which I had designed. I'll show over here too. I don't know if I can see it, but it basically is their guide to selling, but I have my lenders in there. It tells about me, tells about testimonials, the roadmap, how to prepare your home. And it's something that I can actually give to them that they could take with them. And then they can keep me top of mind. I've had some people that are like, hey, give me a few of those. I can pass it out to some people that I know who are thinking about it. So keeping top of mind is important. I do the magnets for the football, and then that's something else I can pass out. I just sent out a postcard for renters and I went through Data Exact or something to get a list of renters that have been in a home in a certain zip code for over a year and that are still living there, that it's not owner occupied. And then I sent this postcard out, and then I had we put little mailers in it, and Kayla helped me, and we put little QR codes that they could scan to start the process. So just keeping top of mind, but what makes you the reason someone should trust you as their realtor, right? Because someone could use anyone as a realtor. Once you get your license, some people are like, what do realtors really do for you? Well, you got to show them why they should trust you. But marketing yourself takes consistency to those in your database. That database are people on TikTok, right? Your friends there, your friends on Instagram, your friends on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, your CRM. These are all your databases you collect from your business and get business from. It's all about who you know in real estate, right? So connect with every one of them. Comment, add friends, say happy birthday, be top of mind for anyone that's around you. That's marketing yourself. Now, marketing your listings are all about your videos, your images, photography, all super important. Now we have Canva, which yay, can't wait to utilize that. But they already have like design stuff that you can use and use it to your advantage. But if you have listings, pay for the professional photos. They make a huge difference. Or put that cost on your sellers. I personally pay for my professional photos to be taken for my clients. That's just a thing I've always done. And they always turn out awesome. So before I get there, market your listings. I'm also going to cover a little bit of that with AI. Because there's some programs that we have out there through different American Title Solutions. They have one that they offer called Listing AI. You could upload photos to it, and then it makes it into an interactive video. So if it's outside, you'll see like the wind blowing in the trees. Even though it's a still photo, it does it by itself. So those are fun to play around with. But so on to the next topic, but I have these letters, okay? And this is a little trick that I'm going to teach you guys, because sometimes you get to these lessons and you don't really take something you can tangibly go out and do. So I wanted to do that for you guys. So if you have a buyer client and you get your offer accepted, okay, how can you change that into getting sellers from that buyer? So what I do is during the inspection, I go about 30 minutes early and I write these letters and I put them in door hangers and I pass them out to like 30 to 50 homes around that person that I got under contract. Because people don't usually, that listing agent is not usually doing anything about it, telling those neighbors how much money that they sold the home for or got it under contract. So and they usually don't do a postcard until after it sells, right? So how can you get to them first? So I create this letter, and the letter states this: Dear neighbors, my name is Mercedes Dunne, a realtor with Keller Williams Legacy Group Realty. I recently helped get your neighbor's home at the address under contract for X amount of money. In comparison to your home, this property is a 4-bedroom, 4.5-bath home with a finished walkout basement, pool, and is very renovated. If you're thinking of selling, right now is your time. Ton of buyers in the market, which means this is the perfect time to sell. If you have been thinking of selling, but not sure where you might need to start to maximize your return on your sale, give me a call. I can provide a free competitive market analysis to tell you what you could sell your home for. I also specialize in helping others buy and sell at the same time. Give me a call today. So then I put these in the door hangers around them, and I try and door knock if it's during a certain time, right? And I see cars in the driveway, I'll actually knock. And I've gotten rental clients, I've gotten listings from this, I've gotten people who've called me like a while later that are like, hey, I got that door hanger, and now we're looking to sell. But I like that you kept us updated on this. So I think this is important. No one's doing this. Even my inspectors are like, you're the only one I know doing this. But it keeps you top of mind. These are just marketing yourself. You got to just constantly be in front of people, talking to people. Got to gab it up. Okay, so a couple AI things, and I know this was quick, but and I can go through some of these and show you.
Questions. I can see there's a couple of questions in the chat too, so.
Okay, hold on. Let's see. How do I open this? Nope. Maybe. How do I get to your chat?
Let's see. It's hard when we're on the share screen. Let me see.
Nope, wrong thing.
Go back to your PowerPoint.
They're just comments saying good morning, yes, and love this. Nothing
Okay.
is a question.
Okay, thank you guys.
Yeah, share screen, I always lose track of where we're at, so we're good.
Okay, perfect.
There you go.
Okay, so many chats. This is something I learned in a training recently. Definitely recommend getting this. All right, so it will respond to any of your social media posts if they use a keyword. So, and you could even say, put in an emoji and a certain emoji, like it could be the fire emoji, right? Say, I want anyone that responds with this fire emoji to then it sends them a message directly with whatever you want it to say. So it's constantly checking your socials for you, right? So it could be any post in the future too. You could say if anyone's using these keywords, buying, selling, help me. Then let me pull it up so I can show you too.
So you're saying that you preset it, that an app that connects to your Facebook,
Connects to everything.
and then you have preset answers?
Yep.
Okay.
So I learned this at an AI training just the other day at the KW Summer Mastermind, which we're possibly thinking of having this lady come in and speak because she did a great job at teaching this. But okay, so it connects to all of these platforms. Okay, so if someone is to messenger you, right, and they say, hey, Mercedes, I really need help selling or buying, and if it kicks on those keywords, it then sends them a message that I automatically tailored. Mine states that just, hey, this is Mercedes Dunne. Thank you so much for reaching out to me. I would love to help you with all your real estate needs. For a quicker response, shoot me a text. That way, all of these things are covered and they're directed on how to reach me faster. But you can put in any keywords, any emoji, any message that you wanted to say. So say you wanted it to be like, hey, if you need help with a free competitive analysis, write this emoji in the comments and I'll get a hold of you ASAP. That emoji can be triggered by this down system to then alert them with any message that you want and a link. So if you wanted to send a link to like your website, so they have to like put it into command, it'll do that too. So this is super cool. I highly recommend this. There's free options for it, but there's like $15 a month if you wanted to get it crazier. I haven't, because personally the free version is just as good. Another thing is listing AI. So this is, if you're part of American Title Solutions, they offer this as part of them, but you could pay for it if not. They offer like a discount for bulk, right? So I pay for this because this is super cool. I am going to log in if you don't mind, so I can show you guys. Listing AI, this will help you write your listing, right? It'll help you create videos, contact. You can even create your CRM with it. I do a little bit something different with my CRM when I'm doing that. I go into the MLS and I pull all the comps with the photos and I take those to my listings. So that way they're making a decision on their price themselves based on this is what has sold within a half-mile radius. And I'm looking at stuff that your appraisal is going to look at, right? So within a half-mile radius, if not enough comes up, then I make it a little bit further out with the same school district and then kind of go from there. But this you could do all in here too. So here we go. Your keyboard's different than mine, so I'm fumbling.
When you're being watched, it always happens.
I know. Crap, what's my password? All right, instead of that, I'll just show you one of the videos I made from it. Makes it easier. This might log you in yours, but then I'll go to mine. Also, I use CapCut on TikTok. I just add some photos together and then I automatically create it using CapCut. And it like creates its own music with it, slideshow. You can like pick different templates. Super fun. Let's see. Probably should go to my business page, right? All right, so this one was created with it. And you could write stuff at the bottom. If you want your ceiling fan to start moving, it'll move the ceiling fan for you, making it like it's like an actual video. But get in there and play around because listing AI.
AI, not CapCut. This was.
This one I think might have been CapCut. Listing AI would have been. I have to pull it up. No, I think these ones are it.
Okay.
Yeah. And always post your photos on your business page in its own album and share that. Because people will then contact you to get more information and they'll by posting. And if you don't write price, you don't write more details on it that you don't need to, more people will comment and it'll make the post go to see more people. Those are just some marketing tricks that I learned. All right. And then last one is ChatGPT. If you're not using ChatGPT for your business, please do. I will give you one story on how ChatGPT helped get a client to buy something. So they were looking and we found the perfect house, except the dining room had this hideous wallpaper. And they just couldn't look past it. They're like, it's going to take forever to get it off. And mind you, I had showed them way too many houses at this point. I was over it and I knew this house was perfect for them. So I got ChatGPT out. I took a picture of that living or that dining room and I said, hey, change it, remove the wallpaper, add sage green paint. And it did. And I showed that to them and they're like, oh, that's what this could look like. It looks so great. You're so right. I'm like, listen, if you decide you want this house because we've looked forever, I will come back after closing and I'll help you remove this wallpaper. So I did. They bought the house. They love it. They're still there. I still chat with them every once in a while. But that's how ChatGPT can be used. You could take pictures of stuff and say, hey, renovate this backyard, add a pool.
It's crazy. My daughter's dog looks like Shrek, I think. So I said you should dress him up like Shrek for Halloween, you know, Hank. And so I went on ChatGPT, I took a picture of him and I said, make Hank green. So,
And it looks so
oh
cool.
my God, like I'll show you. It's the funniest thing.
Yeah, ChatGPT can be used for everything. That's so
Like,
great.
just like in like 2 minutes, he's green. So yeah.
But ChatGPT is also good because you could, if you're not making blog posts on Google to help push out your Google page, you definitely should be. And you should be using keywords that are going to improve your SEO, your search engine optimization, which basically in your blog post, if you're writing about buying and selling at the same time, or being a top realtor in Northeast Ohio, when people are searching those things, your blog posts are going to be pushing you up more, right? So you could use ChatGPT to say, hey, write me a blog post today as a realtor focusing on X, Y, and Z. Now it's better if you write your own based on, or come up with ideas like, for example, buying and selling at the same time, extended possession, and buying with a home sale contingency, right? So it's just fun.
I think it's a great assistant. Like, I think that we all can see when someone uses direct caption. And it
Yes.
sounds corny, but like spit in there what you want it to sound like and then edit from there. You know what I mean? Like it starts to, like Zuri's helped me create a AI assistant on ChatGPT on the paid for version.
Yeah.
And so my AI assistant actually now knows exactly what I do and what I want, what I need.
Mhm.
And so when I say create me a caption for this post, it's doing better with not sounding like AI, but sounding like me.
Yes.
Cause then I put my edit back in it
Yeah.
to be able to say, this is what I want it to be like. So next time use that information.
Yeah.
And you can even tell it to go deeper and teach yourself more about this and
Right.
what causes engagement. And then it's gonna spit more information out. So again, it's an assist. It's
Yeah.
not to
Like
be
all of these are assists. You have to be able to play with them. But here's this video on AI so you could see. It zooms it in like you're walking through the house. And it's so cool how it does it.
It looks like a drone video.
It looks like a drone video. And then it'll market you at the very end. So it'll have your photo, it'll have the listing detail. At the very beginning, you could have the address and all that stuff.
So those are just still pictures?
These are still photos. And then it markets you at the end, right? Your name, realtor, your number. At the beginning, you could have it listed like that. There's different settings where it could be on the side instead. They have AI imager editor. So you could be like, add a Christmas tree here if it's in the Christmas time and you want to then like, so then look, see, then it adds that tree there. So you could add little things and then it makes a website for you.
Now, when you're talking about a blog post, what exactly do you mean by blog? Like, what would you be posting it on?
So let me show you. Oops. Oops. See if I can actually, Okay. So here's mine. If you go to mine, then you should be able to access all of my blogs, which are where on here? And then I just share it out. So hold on. I don't know if I can show you. Basically, when you're on your logged in portion, right? If you go into this area, sorry, I'm going to go into yours if you don't mind. Move this. There's an option in here for your business and your blogs, which are, here's your business page. Is this part of your business over here or is this not?
Maybe not.
Okay, well, you'll have a blog option in here, right? Through your business. So go to the business section. That's where you edit this whole section in Google. From there, it'll give you an option that says blog posts. Then you can create blog posts in there, but that'll help with your SEO. And then you link it to your website, your Keller Williams website, and there you go. Wonder if I can. She's done blog post. Take you on my Facebook, my Instagram. Of course, nothing else, but okay. But yes, create blog posts on Google from your Google business page.
Oh, that's true.
There we go. And then, like, when I create that, I'll share that post. Now, it's been a while since I've done, which I need to get back on to. But like, for example, I wrote this one and I put it in here. 7 ways to increase your ROI. And then I put photos in it, but it's little things like declutter, 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 let it shine, color, lighting fixtures, trim and caulking, landscaping, and furniture layout. It's super easy. And then, but use ChatGPT to write some stuff for you.
Did you create that booklet?
I did.
Canva, or like?
No, I created this. I had a graphic designer create it for me. And then I printed so many of them. So, this one, I passed it out to buyers and sellers, even though it says this, because I have my lenders in here for them. And it still has a roadmap of like inspectors and, like a roadmap of things to do. So, but the main thing is like, you want them to know about yourself. So the first few things are just all about me and how I can help them. And then the back is our like win-win reviews, contact information, testimonials are in here, but something tangible to hand them is amazing because they're not going to just like the magnets on the fridge that stays until November because it's a football magnet. And you send it to your sphere, your top 50 people that you send stuff to, people that you've closed with recently, people that have written you reviews. And then I target areas too. So like where I live, I'll target zip codes, people who have lived there longer than 3 years. Then I'll pull that data and I'll mail them out stuff with a little handwritten thing that says, hey, I'm Mercedes, I'm your neighbor. I just wanted you to get a football magnet. I send this all to my top 50 people and I wanted you to have one too.
Now, is that something that you like, do you like are walking and you're hanging them, or are you mailing?
No, I mail them for my neighborhood.
Just like looking like at your address and then just going based off of the ones in the radius?
Yeah, but I'll hand deliver them to my neighbors, the ones that I talk to around my house. But I'll mail people that I haven't really got a chance to actually communicate with yet, but people that I want to target. And the other thing about marketing is think about your best client that you've ever had. One that you are like, I wish I had more of these people. That's your target audience in marketing, right? That's the person that you should look at, put them in a box, say, this is where they shop. This is what they like to do. This is what they, where they spend their money, and then target your ads and what you are trying to reach that person by where they shop, where they spend money, where they do all that stuff. Because then you're going to get more of those people that you want to work with instead of getting the dreadful clients that no one wants to work with. What else can I say? I think that was it.
That's just questions. Anybody have questions? Also, you can't put that in someone's mailbox. I
Yes.
did know that.
Yes, that's why the door hangers are important.
Don't do that. Where you
Yeah.
put them on the side box.
Yeah, so the door hangers are fine. But if they have no soliciting all over their door, just skip that house. Because they're already gonna look bad upon you for dropping something off at the door when they constantly are saying no soliciting at their door.
Okay, so like with these, what are you doing? Did you mail these or?
No, so these I fold up and I put them in these door hangers. And I got like a bunch of them. right? You can get them in bulk, they're cheap,
Plastic little inserts.
Okay.
Yeah, you fold
Yep.
three.
3 ways. And then I stick them in there and then I'll walk and put them on the doors. And then, I'd usually go about 30 minutes before the inspection starts or while he's doing the exterior of the house is when I'm doing it. But it's a good way to talk to those neighbors before the listing agent does, because there's signs in the yard. They don't know who's helping the buyers do this. And really, you're the one who helped secure that deal. You brought that buyer. So you should be the one out there saying, listen, I helped your neighbor sell their house. Not this other lady. She put a sign in the yard and told me it was available and I brought the buyer.
And you could have more.
And you can get more from it.
Yeah, meaning you may have more buyers for that area.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that's.
Yeah. And it just depends the market, right? You could say, you could change this up to be more accurate for what the market's like. When I wrote ton of buyers in the market, it's because I knew we were in multiple offers. And there were other people going against for wanting this house. So I know there was extra buyers in the market, but if the market changes, right, and you bring a buyer, you could say, if you're thinking of selling right now, it's your time. And you just kind of tailor it to how you want it to say.
You know, that brings up a thought for me. What I'm thinking is taking it a little bit of a step further, which is this. If we made an offer on a listing and multiples and my buyer didn't get their offer accepted, why not do that to the neighbors? Hey, I just wanted to let you know, I didn't bring the buyer because it went to somebody else, but I do have a buyer who wants to be in this neighborhood, and then the same thing.
So another thing I've done for buyers that have been in a tricky situation, say the budget is really, really competitive, but they found a house in this neighborhood that they really, really love. I'll send out a postcard to that neighborhood and I'll say, listen, my name is Mercedes Dunne. I have a buyer that's pre-approved, ready to go within this budget and would love to be able to be considered to your house. Let me teach you how you can net more by letting us do a one-time showing agreement. And you have to teach them because no one knows what a one-time showing agreement is. No one knows that they could just pay one agent by being a dual agent if your clients are comfortable with that, but you become the middleman, right? So there's just ways of, again, you have to be marketing yourself, marketing your listings, and marketing your clients.
I have another question.
Yeah.
I know you said you were kind of already working in the real estate industry before you became a realtor,
Mhm.
but like when you first started, because that's what I was just talking to Gina about. I'm trying to figure out, because for me, this is full time, how to spend 40 hours a week actually working on real estate. I find myself like not knowing what specific things I need to do once I've checked everything else off my list. And I'm not getting like the hours in that I need. So what were you?
Call, I go to Home Depot, I pass out my card. I get out of the house because the problem is you're sitting there behind your computer and like, how can I draw business? How can I draw business? Your thing is you have to be out there talking to people. You have to be calling the people that moved in a couple months ago. If they haven't wrote you a review, call them, be like, hey, this really helps me generate my business. And then you get to talking to them and you say, listen, I would love to come over and throw you a mini housewarming party for your neighbors. Bring hot dogs and hamburgers. They grill out, they're hosting it, so it doesn't have any expense on the location. But then you're drawing all their neighbors in to getting to know more people. The whole point of marketing yourself is to get as many people in your CRM in a drip campaign so you're still top of mind all the time. That way it's not pushing it as much and it is kind of you pull it in.
Okay.
But the beginning, really, it was figuring out that database. Who are my top 50 people?
As
And
far as like who you talk, like what do you mean talk to?
so people that are going to refer you,
Okay.
right? The people that are going to bring your name up. If someone says, I'm looking to buy, and if that person's not bringing your name up, they're not your top 50. If they're recommending another agent, they're not your top 50, right? So it's these people like my mom at her work. She talks about me all the time. She's one of my spear. Anytime I do a pop by, a little gift, someone gives me a referral, you can't say, oh, I'll give you some money for referring me to people because that's against our licensing law. But you could give them something after the fact and just say, I really appreciate you spreading my name. And you can't say you're going to offer that at the beginning, but you can do it if they give you a referral.
It's a thank you.
Yeah, it's a thank you instead.
Send a Starbucks gift card right from my phone quickly, it takes 2 seconds, and it's always thanking for the referral, not waiting till the closing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay,
And we talk about top 50 database all the time, your top 50 can be top 10,
okay.
and you can grow. Which
Yeah.
We've learned this, it can never be 51, it's always 50.
Yeah.
You have your 5,000 database, but your top 50 are your special people because they already maybe have referred you or repeat business.
Yes, exactly. And so when it comes to repeat business, all your buyers, you need to make sure you're updating their address in your CRM because it doesn't do that, right? And they're not going to know how much their house is worth in a year if you don't do that. Put them in the neighborhood search. You already know what their address is. So in command, you can put their address in the neighborhood, do a bi-weekly mail campaign. So then every 2 weeks, they're understanding what has sold in their neighborhood, how much their house is worth. So that way they're calling you when it's time to become a seller then. So from buyers to sellers is super easy, right? Because you already helped them here. As long as you made a good reputation by this process, they're going to want you to help them when they go to sell and buy then at the same time. So learning on how to buy and help people buy and sell at the same time is also super important. Because there's ways of going about it, right? Like you need to have extended possession in the house that you're selling to give them time to be able to move into the house that they're buying. But there's multiple different ways you can go about it, which would be a whole nother class on that.
Anybody on Zoom have any questions?
See. Good morning, yes, and love this. If that's it, then that's it.
What do you do to like become best friends with your clients after? You do it like during the process, you just talk
I make sure
to know them.
get to know them personally, know their dog's name, know what they love. Like when you go into their house, right? If you're going to meet them in person, if they have like fancy jewelry, right? You know that they're jewelry lovers. You start talking about that with them, right? It's more important to build rapport. So when you start any consultation, it shouldn't be straight to business ever. It should be building rapport with them first, connecting with them on a human level. So if they walk in and they have 3 kids on their hips, right? Like, oh, my son's 8 and I remember that age. I want more kids in the future. Like tell them about you. Because they want to see you and know you as a human person instead of just a realtor.
Right.
And that's going to make them want to use you because they're your friend now instead of just your realtor. But building rapport is super important. So if you go to a listing appointment, I always come in the door because I learned sales processes going to business school, right? So you walk in the door, you offer to take your shoes off first, right? It just shows respect for their home. Then you say, is there a spot that I can set my bag down? In the meantime, you're looking around their house, you're looking for photos, you're looking for sports team stuff, you're looking for stuff that you can connect with them at while you're going down to sit down your bag, right? So then I sit down and I just say, before we get started, I just want to learn more about you and what you're looking to get out of this sale. Where you plan on going? I want to make sure that they're covered and not just getting in there to close a sale for them, right? So like I become their friend because I'm like, I don't want you to be homeless, right? I want you to have your dream home. I don't want you to settle. Like you show that you're just a good human being and then they'll want to work with you. I
As
don't-
far as, because you said like, obviously you don't want somebody to settle, but then like, for people that, I don't wanna say are like really picky, but I'm like a
Oh,
family member right now, and I thought that'd be easier, but it's making it harder because she's just really taking her time and she's older.
family and friends are harder to work with than strangers. I will tell you that right now.
Got to a house and we were there we walked in the kitchen and she was like, oh, this is way too small, so we ended up leaving like 5 minutes in. And I'm just like, how do you?
So this is the best way to go about that. When you start with any buyers, I tell them, listen, we're going to see a lot of homes. Do not waste my time or your time. If you walk into that house and there's something that you do not like, we will find you something else that you do like, but don't waste my time or your time and continue to walk through this house. Let's just go. And because we have other ones to see.
Yeah.
If they're really picky and it's really outside their budget where there's only a few, right? That's a little harder. But I tell them, don't settle. Like, the right one will come up, or we need to reevaluate what you're looking for.
Yeah, cause I kept telling her like not to settle for anything less than what she wants, but.
At the same
I'm just
time.
like,
Oh, but
no,
then
she knows.
you might need to reset expectations. I was just talking to
Yes.
just over the weekend about this with Jacob. And he had said something similar and they want something that's out of their price range. So then the choice might be get your pre-approval reevaluated because what you're looking for isn't going to happen in your price range. So then there's choices. We have to
But you need to
reevaluate.
have that honest conversation with them.
Yeah.
That's the problem, is if you're just continuing just to go willy-nilly with them to these houses and you're not actually setting up those expectations, then you're just gonna waste your time for a long time.
Sizes are an issue. Make sure they look at the room sizes before you show up.
So we're sold
Yes.
about acreage, which I thought she was in a good price range, but she doesn't. Cause she's from somewhere where there's like lots of country and she had like a lot of acreage. And I'm like, that's not as common, especially like in the areas that she's looking for, the kind of acreage, so I just.
So here's another thing that you could do.
She's strict
Is,
about the
are
area.
you part of all of the selling stuff on Facebook, the groups? Because you should be, because then you could write a message that just says, listen, I have a pre-approved buyer. They're looking for X, Y, and Z. Let me show you how you can net more by getting us into the door first. Just make it sweet and simple. I've gotten phone calls from people that I thought was not attainable of what they were looking for in Jackson. And I had a lady that reached out, mind you, she had a magnet of a different realtor on her fridge when I went in. But we did a one-time showing agreement. They netted more. My clients could afford it because they didn't need to get that bigger number that they didn't know that they could get, right? Because I'm representing my buyers. I'm not representing the seller. So I'm like, we can give you this. This is what they're pre-approved for. They took it because they net more. They're not paying 2 agents.
Yeah.
So they could do it. And they were looking to move and they were like, we're moving to Florida. So if we already have a secured like deal coming, we don't have to worry about our move. So if you're sharing it to all these groups, like if you're part of Plain News, right? And you're looking in Plain or North Canton Moms and you're looking in North Canton, you can say, listen, I have a pre-approved buyer. She wants a little acreage. What do you guys have coming up? Even if you're an agent. And I've gotten a lot of things from that. I've gotten people who are like, hey, I saw your post. I'm like, hey, let us in there once. I build rapport with them. Even if my buyer didn't like it, they had let me list it. It's all about talking to as many people as you can and getting them to trust you in what you do. Yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
thank you. That was so great. That was a lot of really good information.
Good. I don't know what I'm doing now. Oh, your computer.
Yeah. Any last minute questions on Zoom? You guys have been so quiet.
I know, Zoom.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Hey, Mercedes, make sure you come to our wrap party.
What's your wrap party?
We are having a wrap it up for the month. Thanks, guys.
Here, do you want these? I printed